28th of July, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi.
Hey. Hello, Lou.
Hello, Rabbi, how are you?
So very good. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's go. I think, Lou, it's your turn. Would you read the possibility? It doesn't matter.
We're on Gimel.
Yeah, Pasuk Gimel.
Vayehi da'ar ba'im shana be'ashtei asar chodesh be'echad lachodesh diber Moshe el b'nei Yisrael kechol asher tziva Hashem oso alehem. It was in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first month, when Moses...
Of the month. Echad lachodesh. In the first of the month.
On the first of the month, when Moshe spoke to the children of Israel, according to everything that Hashem commanded him to them.
Yeah, alehem regarding them.
But wait, he spoke to them or he spoke regarding them?
He
spoke to the children of Israel.
He spoke to the Bnei Israel. Everything that Hashem had commanded him, aleihem regarding them.
I see.
Right? That's what he said to them. By the way, there's a major discussion. Is Sefer Devarim different from Sefer Devarim different from the rest of the Torah in the way it was given over to Moshe? And this is a major discussion. Was it that Hashem was speaking through Moshe directly? Or was it that Moshe Rabbeinu heard everything from Hashem and then he gave it over at a different time to the Jewish people? It wasn't direct, Hashem was speaking mitoch geroino through Moshe Rabbeinu's, through his throat, through his vocal cords. Okay, this is a major discussion. It's actually a machlokes between the Vilna Gaon and his Talmud Reb Chaim Volozhin. But I'm not going to go into all the details because it's a major thesis. Okay? But I'm just making you aware of this. Okay? Anyway, let's see the Rashi here. Because why I'm mentioning this is because you have in the Torah, it says 71 times, Vayedaber Hashem HaMoshe Aleinu. But in Sefer Devarim, it never mentions that once. This is where, just the one point over here, and then afterwards it says, everything is Moshe Rabbeinu speaking. Moshe Rabbeinu as Moshe Rabbeinu, not he's saying in the name of Hashem. The whole of Sefer Devarim is related. The whole narrative is Moshe's speech. Moshe saying this is what I did, this is what Hashem said to me to do, or whatever, etc. It's all Moshe speaking. Okay? Let's see the Rashi on Pasuk.
He Arba'im Shana V'ashtei Asar Chodesh Be'echad LaChodesh. Bilamed, this teaches us Shalo Hochichan, that Moses did not rebuke them. Ella Samuch Lemisa, except immediately before his death. Mimi Lamad, from whom did he learn to do this? Mi Yaakov, from Yaakov. Shalo Hochiach es banav, for he did not rebuke his sons. Ella Samuch Lemisa, except immediately before his death. Amar, he said, Ruvain beni, Ruvain my son, Ani omer lecha, I am telling you, mipnei ma lo chochachticha, why I did not rebuke you. Kol hashanim halalu, all of these years, K'dei shalo sani cheni, so that you would not leave me. V'telech v'tidbak be'esav achi, and go join with Esav, my brother.
Just one second. It's an amazing thing, you know. It says when they were still 13 years old, you couldn't tell them apart. But with time, Yaakov Avinu became, he was a wise Torah scholar, he was Baal Midas, he had all the good qualities. And Esav, I don't like using this word, but he was a shaigetz, right? It means he married idol worshippers, he was involved with idol worship, and he was his character had much left to be desired. And now Reuven, the question is, you know, Yaakov Avinu says to Reuven, you know, Reuven followed in his father's footsteps. He was also, all the 12 tribes were of a very high spiritual caliber. And yet, Yaakov says to Reuven, you know what the reason why I didn't reprove you all these years? Because I was afraid you're going to run off after Esau. As far as understanding, why should Reuven, excuse me, using the term, Yaakov was worried that Reuven's going to go off the derech, as they say. If Yaakov Avinu would reprove Reuven, we're worried he's going to go off the derech, even though he's already a man of. Yaakov Avinu was 84 when Reuven was born, and so Reuven was 63 years old when 63 years old when Yaakov died. So we worried, albeit, let's say, the last 17 years were in Egypt. So how old was Reuven when they went down to Egypt? 63 less 17, 46. He's a 46-year-old man, you know, he's not something that's just going to sort of go off the derech right now. He himself is a mature person. It's amazing Zach what he's saying over here. Yaakov Avinu was still worried. If he, excuse me, say using the term, if he rubs Reuven up the wrong way, maybe he's just going to go ahead and leave him. Okay, but as I state, okay, that's what Rashi says here. Just 1 second. Let me see if I have a note over here. No, I don't. I don't have anything. Here? Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay, let's continue the Rashi here. Mipnei arba Devarim.
Umipnei arba'a Devarim, because of 4 things, ein mochichin es ha'adam. We do not rebuke a person. Ela samuch lemisa, except immediately before death. Kedei shalo yehei mochicho, so that he should not rebuke him, v'chozer umochicho, and then rebuke him again.
Because
Shalo yehei chavero ro'ehu, so that his friend should not see him, mis bayesh mi menu kule, and be embarrassed in front of him, etc.
yeah, well, Rashi's saying the etc. as far as the other two reasons. For some reason Rashi doesn't mention them. So Sifrei lists the other 2 reasons. One is so that the person being rebuked should not hate the one rebuking him, and so that no quarrel should break out between the 2 parties.
You can't quarrel with somebody who's dead.
No, on the contrary, exactly. So he's saying that you shouldn't, that only before death should. That's why Yaakov, and who had in Moshe Rabbeinu as well, they only rebuked the people whom they rebuked immediate prior to their death, because it was for 4 reasons one shouldn't do it at an earlier point, only close to death. Well, why? One is that you have to reprove him again. Means if you reproved him once and the person didn't follow, well, there's some other issue which he needs to rebuke him about. So he's going to have to rebuke him again. And then it won't have the same effect. That's number one. That's the first thing Rashi mentions. Number 2 is that every time the person rebuked meets the rebuker, he's going to be embarrassed. He's going to feel embarrassed in front of him. That's number 2. And now, then the Rashi says, etc. So Rashi doesn't say, speak out what the other 2 are. So I'm just saying that the Sifrei says, what are the other 2? So that the person being rebuked should not hate the one whom he's rebuking. Should not hate the one rebuking him. That's number 1. And number 2, and so that no quarrel should break out between the 2 parties. Those are the 4 reasons. On a general, in general, the chayra, we have to understand what are we talking about. What kind of rebuke are we talking about over here? Let's say I see somebody about to transgress Shabbos. There's certain halachim which maybe he doesn't know about or whatever. I see my neighbor, Chas v'shalom, getting into his car on Shabbos. He's somebody who's not so religious. And I see him getting into his car. So what I tell him, you're not allowed to drive on Shabbos. Okay? Now, is that also, I have to wait till I'm a really old man before I can tell him that? Or not. If I'm trying to stop somebody from doing an Avera, then it happens even right now. I've got an obligation as much as possible to try and prevent somebody from doing an Avera. So the Chayra, what we're talking about over here is talking about past deeds. This is what we see, that Moshe Rabbeinu was rebuking them about past deeds. So what's the idea? Why is he rebuking them about past deeds? 2 reasons, 2 purposes. One is to see that they did tshuva, to encourage them to do tshuva on what they did. That's number 1. And also that they shouldn't do it again, which is really one and the same thing. I mean, tshuva can mean, even if they're not going to do it again, but they maybe don't regret. There's no regret for what they did. So therefore, the father rebukes his children to make sure that they do tshuva on all their bad deeds and to make sure that they stay on the straight and narrow. So that is something which, the person's not, the son is not holding right now by doing Chas v'Shalom the Avera again. We don't know. It could happen in the future that will come up. He's not in a situation where he's okay. So he's rebuking them about what they did in the past, and we're worried. The father's worried that if it comes up in the future, they may do it again. So he wants them. So really, he's have a double purpose. He wants them to do tshuva on what they did in the past, and that they shouldn't do it again. And this is where the Torah advises us, both through Moshe and through Yaakov, father should wait for the opportune moment to be able to rebuke his children. And that is only close to death. When the father is close to his time of death, then he should rebuke his children, but not otherwise. Okay? But if a person sees somebody else about to do an Avera, even if the father's 25 years old, and 30 years old, and his kid is just about bar mitzvah or something like that when he got married. But something like that, then already the father sees the kid doing it, and he's got to stop it. There's no question. Okay? V'chein Yehoshua. Let's continue in the Rashi.
K'de'isa b'sifrei, as it is stated in Sifrei, v'chein, and similarly, Yehoshua lo chochiach es Yisrael. Yehoshua did not rebuke Israel, ela samuch lemisa, except close to his death. V'chein Shmuel, and similarly Shmuel, Shneimar, as it says, Hineni ani vi. Here I am, testify against me. And similarly, Shmuel, Shneimar, no, I read that already. Testify against me. V'chein David es Shlomo v'no. And similarly, David rebuked Shlomo, his son.
That's in Melachim Aleph, chapter 2.
Oh.
Okay? Okay, let's see Pasuk Dalet. Meir.
Okay. Dalit. Says, Acharei hakoto et Sichon melech Amori asher yoshev becheshbon v'et Og melech Habashan asher yoshev b'astarot
Ashtaros.
b'ashtarot. Okay. B'edrei. So it says, let's see. And after he's smitten Sichon, king of the Amorite, who dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, who dwelt in Ashtarot, in Edrei.
In Edrei.
Edrei, sorry.
So Rashi is going to explain what the double expression. Who was dwelling in Ashtaros, which is in Edrei.
Okay. So first Rashi is Acharei Hakoto, after he had smitten. Amar Moshe said, Imani mochicham kodem sheyiknesu likitzei haaretz. If I rebuke them before they enter the edge of the land, Yomru, they will say, Ma lazeh Allah aleinu. I'm sorry, Ma lazeh aleinu. What claim does this one have on us? Ma heitev lanu. What good has he done? Eino va'ela lekanter. He comes only to chide, v'limtso ilah, and to find a pretext against us. She'ein bo koach, for he does not have the power. L'hachniseni la'aretz, to bring us into the land. Fikach, therefore, himtin ad shehipil Sichon v'og lifneihem. He waited until he, overthrew Sichon and Og before them. V'horisham et artzam, and gave them possession of their land. Yahar kach hochichan, and after that he rebuked them.
Right.
Okay. And next Rashi, Sichon Melech Amori, Asher Yoshed B'Cheshbon. So Sihon, king of the Amorite, who dwelt in Cheshbon. Elalo Haya Sichon Kasheh. Had Sichon not been formidable, the Haya Sharui B'Cheshbon, but he would have been living in Cheshbon. Haya Kasheh, he would have been difficult to defeat. She Hamidina Kasheh, because maybe it's Kasha, for the country, Heshbon would have been formidable. The Ilu Haita Ir Acheret, and had it been another city, the Sichon Sharui B'tocha, with Sihon living in it, Hayakasheh, he would have been difficult to defeat.
It would have been difficult for them to conquer.
To conquer. Because the king had been formidable. Okay. Alachat kama v'kama. How much more so? Shehamelech kasheh v'hamidina kasheh. When the king was formidable and the country was formidable. Okay. Asher Yoshev Ashtarot. Ashtarot. Okay. Hamelech Kasha, the king was formidable. V'amida Kasha. Kasha. It should be Kasha, I thought. Okay. And the country was formidable. It is Kasha. Okay. Ashtarot, Hulashon Tzukin Vikoshi. It means cliffs and harshness. Kimo.
Anything dirty, rocks or anything hard.
Okay. Kimo Ashtarot Karnayim. Like Ashtarot Karnayim. The Ashtarot
means Asher's Karnayim means there Rashi says it means the hard rocks of the horns.
Oh.
I.e. the sturdiest part of the animal.
Wow. Okay. The Ashtarot Zehu Ashtarot Karnayim. This Ashtarot is the same Ashtarot Karnayim. Shehayu Sham Rifaim Shehika Amrafel. Let's see, for there were Rephaim. There were
the Rephaim, that's where the Rephaim giants.
Oh, okay.
Whom Amraphel killed, right? That's where they lived.
Okay. Shene'emar vayachu et Rephaim be'ashtarot karnayim. And they struck the Rephaim at Ashtarot Karnayim. The Og nimlat mehem, and Og escaped from them. Who shene'emar. This is what is meant, which it says. Okay, vayavo apalit. And the fugitive came, the Omer, and it says, Kirak Og Melech Habashan Nishar Miyeta Harifaim. For only Og, king of Bashan, was left of the remaining Rephaim.
Of the rest of Rephaim. So you see, he was the part that he had fled. Og was the last, not the last of the Mohicans, he was the last of the Raphael.
Uh-huh. Okay, one more quick one. Be'edrai, Shem HaMalchut. Edrai is the name of a kingdom.
Right. So Edrei was the general name of the kingdom, and Ashtaroth was the name of the city.
Ah, very good.
Okay?
Good, very
Right.
nice.
So we go back to the end of Pasuk Dalet, and then we'll adjourn here.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Right. Very good.
Okay, have a good day.